Today, we stand at a crossroads. A question echoes across the nation: who is behind the murder of Charlie Kirk? This is not merely about one man, it is about truth itself, buried beneath layers of distortion and distraction. The dark reality before us is not a simple crime, it is a struggle for influence, a contest for control. Behind every shadowed corner, there are those who seek to twist facts, sow confusion, and fracture our trust in one another. We must see beyond the noise. We must ask not only who pulled the trigger, but who profits from the silence, who gains from the chaos, and who shapes the narrative we are told. This is a call to vigilance. We cannot afford complacency. Discipline, strength, and clarity must be our weapons. We must hold fast to the principles that define us: truth, unity, and unwavering resolve. If we stand firm, no deception can prevail. If we remain divided, the dark reality consumes us all. The question is not just who murdered Charlie Kirk. The question is, will we rise to uncover the truth, or will we allow shadows to dictate our future? A truth is the first casualty when shadows gather. The headline asks who is behind the murder of Charlie Kirk. But before pointing fingers, we must recognize the battlefield of information itself. In this age, reality is no longer delivered straight. It is packaged, polished, and weaponized. Rumors become headlines, headlines become narratives, and narratives become truth. For those too weary to question, to unmask the truth, we must first understand that the truth itself has enemies, forces that thrive in distortion, confusion, and the chaos of competing stories. Behind every claim lies a strategy. When tragedy strikes, or even when whispers of tragedy are manufactured, the powerful move quickly to frame it. They shape the story so that the public looks in one direction while the real actors move in another. The question of Charlie Kirk's murder, whether literal or symbolic, is less about the act itself and more about the architecture of deception built around it. Every false lead, every dramatic headline, and every emotional outburst in the media serves as camouflage, hiding the true intentions of those orchestrating events from the shadows. The dark reality is that truth does not reveal itself. It must be hunted, tracked, and dragged into the light. This hunt demands discipline and patience. It requires sifting through lies, questioning motives, and following not the loudest voice, but the trail of power. Who benefits from this narrative? Who gains control by spreading fear, outrage, or despair? These are the questions that strip away the illusion and expose the mechanics behind the story. Without this pursuit, the truth remains buried and the people remain mills. But unmasking the truth is not merely about pointing at villains. It is about exposing systems, the machinery of influence, political operatives, media conglomerates, financial backers, and unseen strategists moves with precision. They know that most will settle for the easy answer, the convenient villain, the story that fits neatly into their worldview. To resist this, we must train ourselves to see beyond the surface, to confront the uncomfortable possibility that those who appear innocent may hold the strings, and those who seem guilty may be pawns in a far larger game. In the end, unmasking the truth is an act of courage. It is not comfortable. It will not win applause from the crowd or approval from the powerful, but it is necessary. The death of truth is the death of freedom. And so long as deception rules the day, no one is safe from manipulation. If the murder of Charlie Kirk is the mystery, then the greater mystery is the silence and confusion surrounding it. To unmask the truth, we must resolve to pierce the fog of lies, no matter how thick, and demand answers not from rumor, but from reality itself. Every conflict has a hidden dimension, the battle for control. The case surrounding the supposed murder of Charlie Kirk is no exception. On the surface, it may look like a crime of violence, a tragic event that demands answers. But beneath that surface lies something far more consequential. This is not simply about who pulled the trigger, but about who gains influence in the aftermath. Power does not waste tragedy. It exploits it, weaponizes it, and bends it to its will. Those who appear to mourn may, in fact, be those who profit most. Control is not seized in broad daylight. It is claimed in moments of uncertainty, when the public is divided, when facts are unclear, and when emotions run high. Those who understand power move swiftly. They do not wait for truth to emerge. Instead, they flood the field with narratives, each one designed to steer the masses toward a conclusion that serves their purpose. In such a battlefield, control is not taken with guns or armies. It is taken with headlines, with speeches, with the manipulation of fear. We must ask who benefits from the chaos, who gains by ensuring that suspicion falls on one side and not the other. The struggle for control thrives in the fog of confusion. While the people argue over fragments of information, the real power brokers tighten their grip behind closed doors. This is how influence spreads, not by clarity, but by confusion. The louder the argument among the public, the quieter the hand of the strategist pulling the strings. Control is not only about shaping perception, it is about dictating outcomes. When a figure like Charlie Kirk becomes the center of controversy, whether through life, death, or rumor, his story becomes a tool. Politicians, media outlets, and power groups rush to claim the narrative. Some will frame him as a victim, others as a villain. Both frames serve an agenda. In the struggle for control, facts matter less than the emotional pull of the story. Once the public is swayed, the outcome is already decided, regardless of the truth. But this struggle is not only external, it is also internal. Control extends into the hearts and minds of people who are forced to choose between outrage and apathy, between questioning the narrative or accepting it. Fear is a powerful weapon, and confusion is its ally. By keeping the people uncertain, the architects of control ensure passivity. When citizens no longer demand the truth, when they accept the story handed to them without resistance, the struggle is already lost. The machinery of control thrives on repetition and reinforcement. Once a narrative gains traction, it is repeated until it becomes fact. Even if disproven later, the seed of doubt remains planted in the public consciousness. This is why the struggle is never about one man or one event. It is about controlling the story that follows. Whether Charlie Kirk's murder is fact or fabrication, the real danger lies in how it is wielded. Every retelling, every broadcast, every commentary either strengthens or weakens the grip of those who manipulate perception. We cannot overlook the global scale of this struggle. What begins as a local tragedy can ripple outward, shaping international narratives, shifting alliances, and altering balances of power. In the modern world, control is not contained within borders. It travels across platforms, across nations, and across minds. Those who master this battlefield of narratives do not need armies to dominate. They need only the ability to dictate what people believe, what they fear, and what they fight against. In the end, the struggle for control is not about Charlie Kirk alone. It is about every society that allows truth to be replaced by manipulation. It is about every citizen who gives away critical thought in exchange for comfort or convenience. Control is not freely given. It is surrendered piece by piece until those in power hold not just the narrative, but the future itself. And so, in confronting this mystery, we must recognize the larger battle at hand. If we fail to see the struggle for control, we may solve one murder, but lose an entire generation to deception. Vigilance is more than awareness. It is discipline in motion, the refusal to let comfort lull us into complacency. In times of chaos, when the air is thick with rumor and confusion, vigilance becomes the shield that guards a society from manipulation. The supposed murder of Charlie Kirk, whether truth or engineered narrative, reminds us that deception thrives where vigilance sleeps. To remain free, we must remain awake. The dark reality is that enemies of truth rely on our exhaustion. They know that when people grow wary, they stop asking questions. They stop demanding evidence. They settle for easy explanations, even if those explanations are crafted lies. Vigilance is the antidote to this weakness. It is the daily act of sharpening our perception, questioning what we are told, and never surrendering our judgment to voices that claim authority but hide their motives. Vigilance requires strength, but not only the strength of the body, it requires the strength of mind, the ability to withstand constant pressure from media, politics, and cultural forces that push us toward conformity. To be vigilant is to stand firm when the crowd rushes to judgment. It is to remain steady when fear tries to drive us into chaos. In every era, those who defended truth were not the loudest, but the most disciplined. To call for vigilance is to call for unity. Division is the oldest weapon of control. When people are divided into factions, tribes, or parties, they can be steered like cattle. But vigilance sees through these artificial lines. It recognizes that while we may differ in opinion, we share a common interest in truth, stability, and freedom. Unity does not mean agreement on all things. It means refusing to allow lies to set us against one another. Fear is the enemy of vigilance. When tragedy strikes or is fabricated, fear spreads like fire. It clouds reason and silences questions and pushes people toward rash conclusions. Those who manipulate narratives know this well. They ignite fear because it blinds us. Vigilance is the calm in that storm. It is the refusal to panic, the refusal to surrender to terror. It says, we will not be ruled by fear, we will be ruled by truth. To be vigilant is also to take responsibility. We cannot wait for leaders or institutions to guard truth for us. History shows that even the strongest institutions can be compromised, corrupted, or turned against the people. Vigilance means each individual takes ownership of their own discernment. It is the duty of every citizen to question, to verify, to investigate. When responsibility is abandoned, tyranny fills the void. Vigilance is not passive, it is active. It is not enough to stay aware in silence. True vigilance demands action, challenging falsehoods, exposing contradictions, and speaking truth even when it is unpopular. Silence in the face of lies is complicity. Every society that fell to deception began with citizens who stayed silent, who convinced themselves that someone else would stand up. But vigilance knows that the responsibility belongs to all. This call is not for the faint-hearted. Vigilance is exhausting. It means long hours, constant questioning, and the discomfort of living without simple answers. It requires us to reject the easy narrative and to search for the difficult truth. But comfort is the enemy of progress, and ease is the companion of deception. If we wish to preserve freedom, we must embrace the discomfort of vigilance as the price of survival. Technology has made vigilance harder, yet more necessary than ever. Information no longer flows in measured streams. It floods our lives every second. Lies can be manufactured and spread across the world in moments. A false narrative can reach millions before the truth has a chance to breathe. This is why vigilance cannot be occasional. It must be constant. We must learn to separate noise from signal, distraction from reality. The battle is no longer fought only on streets, it is fought on screens. But vigilance is not paranoia. To be vigilant does not mean to see enemies in every corner, conspiracies in every shadow. It means to remain balanced, grounded, and disciplined. Paranoia is chaos, vigilance is order. Paranoia destroys trust, but vigilance strengthens it because it insists on truth, not suspicion. The vigilant do not fear the unknown, they seek to uncover it. The call to vigilance also requires moral courage. It is one thing to see lies, is another to confront them. Many recognize deception but remain silent because they fear ridicule, backlash, or loss of comfort. True vigilance demands we act in spite of those fears. The history of truth is written by those who were willing to endure ridicule to defend it. Without moral courage, vigilance is nothing more than observation. Let us not forget that vigilance is contagious. One vigilant person can inspire 10. 10 can inspire hundreds. The discipline of truth is a fire that spreads quietly, steadily, and powerfully. Those who stand watch encourage others to join them. And soon, what began as a whisper of resistance becomes a roar of defiance against deception. Vigilance grows stronger when shared, yet vigilance must never end. Deception is patient. It does not vanish when exposed. It retreats, waits, and returns in new form. History proves this again and again. Nations grow complacent after moments of clarity, and that complacency opens the door to manipulation once more. Vigilance is not a battle won once, it is a battle fought every day for every generation. This is the call: do not grow weary, do not surrender to noise, do not allow fear to make your decisions. Be disciplined, be discerning, be unyielding in the pursuit of truth. For if we fail in vigilance, we fail in freedom. If we fail to protect truth, we hand our future to those who would twist it. And if we fail to remain awake, we will be ruled not by fact, but by illusion. In the mystery of Charlie Kirk's supposed murder, vigilance is our greatest weapon. It may reveal the actors behind the shadows, or it may reveal that the story itself is a mask for something larger. Whatever the case, vigilance ensures we do not stumble blindly into the traps of deception. It ensures we remain masters of our destiny rather than prisoners of a false narrative. Let this call to vigilance echo beyond this moment, for the survival of truth depends on it.